You're on this video because you don't want your PTSD to ruin your wife or ruin your kids or ruin the people around you that you love and care about. Your attacks, your episodes, your triggers, your acting out, maybe your manipulation, maybe your gaslighting. If you're anything like, me and the PTSD that I've struggled through and had, you don't want it to break the precious, beautiful people around you that you love and care about, that you're literally just living your life for. You don't want them to be broken over your PTSD. And the easiest thing is, and maybe something that you've told yourself before, and I'm going to help you, is I'm not going to have an episode again. I'm not going to have a trigger again. I'm not going to act out over PTSD again. Maybe you don't even know it's PTSD. Maybe you just think you're really upset or really sensitive about a few things, or something like that. But what happens is you do have it again and again and again. And the gaslighting, the yelling, the manipulation, the leaving, the turning to drinking, turning to pornography, the isolation, the just abuse that you can pour out, whatever that is and in whatever intensity that is for you, even if it's just simply hurtful, just even a hurtful word said out of spite because you are going through a PTSD attack or an episode. Afterwards, you end up coming out of it and you think, what kind of monster am I? I feel so bad that I said these things or did these things to people that I love and care about so deeply. How could I have done this? And so you feel shame and you feel guilt and you feel less than, and your confidence is taken away from you. You feel like less than a man, and less than the man that you should, for sure. And when this happens, then it's just this cycle that continues to go, and it breeds a lot of bad things. And so I want to help you today to make it so that you're not breaking the people around you, because you're going to have PTSD, okay, for a bit. As if you follow these healing modalities and you keep up with me on this channel and you watch the video, the only video that you'll ever need to heal your PTSD, then you're going to get better and you're going to start to feel better. You're going to act better. You're going to think better. The triggers are not going to be there as strong and powerful for you. And you're going to create a brand new cycle in your life that you've probably never felt before. You've definitely never felt before since you've had PTSD, for sure. So keep up with me there, but it's going to take some time to heal. It's not going to be a day or a week. It's going to be a months long process, and potentially into years. It is going to be years, because in a matter of months, you can get way, way better. I got so much better within about 3 months. And then I got even better in 6 months. And then a year, I got even better than that. And then 2 years, I got better than I thought I could ever be. At a year, I thought, oh my God, I'm almost living my dream lifestyle here with sanity and stability and everything. And then it just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. And so it's going to take some time for you to take that initial leap, but it's kind of like, if you give it that first 3 or 4 months, then you will be so completely shocked at how you will get your life back. But just all I want you to know is that it gets even better from that point. After 3 or 4 months, you may be like, holy shit, I can't believe that my life is this good. I never thought that it would be this good since I've had PTSD. And then it's going to get better from there if you continue. But in the meantime, since saying I'm not going to have a PTSD episode is not an option, there are things that you can do to prevent and help, but that's not a full option right now. I'm going to give you some other things. So you have before you have the episode or the trigger, you have during, which you have the least amount of control and power, and then you have the after point, okay? So we need to anchor strongly on the before and strongly on the after, because they're going to help us with the middle part, okay, where we just don't have a ton. You're in it, man. You're fucking dissociating. You're staring at the wall. You're going down a hole. You may not even be fully in reality at this point. You may be accusing people that you love around you. You may be so triggered you don't want to be touched. Your skin feels like fire. You may be reliving a memory that, happened to you 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And you're acting out on that now, even though you're not in the environment or this situation. And so you're lost. You're not anchored at that point. And I know that you know that. So in the middle is going to be the roughest patch. So number one, and we're really going to focus on your spouse, okay, or your significant other, your wife. That's what we're going to focus on, because as far as kids in the picture, you should already be kind of common sense, like, okay, when I get an attack or a trigger, then I'm away from the kids. Okay, I'm not leaving and I'm not going and I'm not, just booking ass out of here, but the kids are protected. Like, you can maintain yourself to the degree where the kids are protected. You need to put a show on for them. You need to send them over to a friend's house. You need to get them in, drop them off at an extracurricular. You need to tell them, hey, go play video games. You guys, take the downstairs. You guys are free reign for video games. Whatever it is, those kids have to be protected, okay, at all times. That's like, and I'm sure that that's an easier one to do, because oftentimes we just have a natural tendency to just hide, that shielding. What our kids see is like, I don't know, dad's just seems depressed. Or dad seems like he wants to be alone. Maybe he seems kind of like he has got a little chip on his shoulder, like he's kind of got a toot on him. He's got an attitude on him. That's what the kids see. But they don't see a lot more than that, unless it's getting to the point where you are, yelling or screaming with your spouse, your wife, or it's just kind of getting out of control. And that stuff can happen. So it's really important to take those kids, put some headphones on them, let them play some games, let them go out to the playground, let them play with their friends. Depends on their age, right? Usually the younger, the easier it is, because they're just zoned out in their own little world. You can send them off and they do their own thing. And then as they get a little older, it's fine because they can go to a friend's house. That middle age around, maybe like 10 to 13, 10 to 14, maybe is a little bit harder, but you got to figure something out for them. So before the episode happens, okay, you're not going to know when it happens or where it happens, right? These nip us in the butt just out of the blue when we're never even expecting it. But before it happens, you need to sit down with your wife and you need to express your feelings of love and care for her. And you need to talk about the episodes that you have and that you have triggers, and that you want to discuss what to do when you have one, okay? And that can look like this. Hey, honey, I love and care about you so much. Obviously, break into it naturally, right? Like, hey, baby, I just, this is a hard talk, but I need to have it with you. And this really is step one, because you're preparing the way right now, okay? You're setting the stage for what this shit's going to be like in the middle. I want to talk about some of the triggers that I've had. It's hard for me to talk about them. It's almost making me a little frozen or maybe pissed off right now. So I'm just going to try to be as neutral as I possibly can. But me gaslighting you, or me getting upset at you, or me pulling away from you and isolating myself, or anything that I do that is negative, we've got to come up with a plan so that you're not feeling helpless and powerless and frozen, and I'm basically giving you PTSD while I'm having PTSD, because that's my worst nightmare. And maybe I already have given you some. I don't want to give you any more. I never, ever want to give you. From this point on, I want us to come up with some sort of plan. So I want you to know, when I have an attack, then this happens, and you can go into details. Sometimes, 80% of the time, I feel frozen and dissociative, and like I want to isolate myself, and I just want to get away, and I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want to be talked to. I need to be left alone. And so when you are kind of there with me, just know that that's how I'm feeling, and I may not be able to express it. Maybe I can come up with a word and just say PTSD. And then oh, okay, Bubba, Billy, Tommy is in this phase where they're having PTSD right now. I need to go and do laundry. I need to go and wash the dishes. I need to go and paint. I need to go and take a shower. I need to go for a jog. Your wife, let her know if there's anything that helps you while you're having that trigger that she does. Hey, baby, when I have a trigger, I know this is really hard to hear, but I don't want you to stick around with me, because when you do, you feel, and I'm giving off cold, chilly vibes and not talking, and you feel, oh my God, is he upset at me? Is he mad at me? Did I do something wrong? I did something wrong. What did I do? I don't want you to feel like that. So I want you, when I say PTSD, I know that you love and care about me, and it's going to be hard for you to leave, but I want you to go ahead and just take yourself on a date, baby. Just go to the movies, just go out with the kids, go have a good time. Just give me an hour or so to just get my head right and ease out of that and have alone time, okay? If it's the opposite and you need your wife there to listen, then you need to tell her that, hey, there are times when I'm not feeling isolated. I feel angry and I need your help to not direct that anger towards you, my beautiful wife. I need to direct that anger towards my parents, towards the person who wronged me in the past, towards the environment that I grew up in, towards this incident that happened. I need your help to do that. So maybe I can say incident, angry, past, and you can cue in, okay, we need to go in our room. We need to talk. This is vent time. He needs to get this out. And then you need to tell her, hey, all the stuff that I'm saying is not towards you. Even though I may say it's just like people don't get it. You know, you don't get it. I'm not talking about you. I'm just venting and reliving past trauma that has not currently happened, but I'm reliving it. And I want you to always feel loved and care about, even though I'm not going to be able to express that strongly to you at that time. You've got to set the stage for something, just how much you love your wife, how much you care about your wife, how you feel like little and small and guilty after these triggers, or weird and uncomfortable after these triggers, and you hate it. And she can know how to best support you. Okay. It's going to be a little different for different people. Like, for me, for some of my triggers, I needed my wife to listen, okay? We needed to do trust talk, and this is one of many of the healing modalities here. Talking with a trusted friend or family member about your trauma, okay? This is when you're opening up, you fully trust that person, and you can just lay it all out on the table. Hey, and it oftentimes it doesn't start, it can start like, hey, I got something that I need to talk to you about, but oftentimes it just starts, I'm just pissed. I just feel depressed today. I don't know. My parents were so fucked up. I'm pissed off about it. And it just kind of gets into it, right? So I needed my wife to listen for so long to me, just breathe and express this trauma. And my beautiful, gorgeous wife at first, and we were still figuring it out. Do I even have PTSD? Is that what this is? She would try to comfort me and to speak to me and talk to me and all these things that you would normally do with like somebody, just like, oh, you're having a bad day. Oh, let me help you out. Hey, it's going to be okay. It's all right. And when we got to the point where we both understood, because I didn't even understand at the time either, but we both got to the point where we understood, whoa, when I get into a trigger, I got to express myself, and I need the whole floor. Like, I need it to basically be quiet for like, if it's as long as I'm expressing my trauma, I just need you to listen to me, and you don't even have to say anything. And so when we both came to that understanding, that helped a lot. Instead of my wife saying something, hey, it's going to be okay. Like, I know that was like just the worst thing that I've ever heard, and I'm so sorry. And then me saying, hey, I need to finish what I'm saying. And then her immediately feeling, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do wrong? I'm expressing my love. So we came to that understanding, and that has helped tremendously. You need to come to an understanding with your partner, with your wife. You need to sit down with her, and you need to go over this shit, okay, backwards and forwards, while you don't have PTSD. And maybe talking about it, you will be triggered and you will get PTSD, but that's the cost. Just do it and get it done, and keep that, not just get it done, because keep it as a running conversation, but make sure she knows what you need. Hey, I don't want to be touched. Hey, I do want to be touched. Hey, I need to go for a walk. Okay, that brings us to the middle one. So the setting before, the before is literally about, hey, I'm communicating with my wife. This is what I'm going through. This is the kind of trauma. Like maybe I have one trigger. Maybe I have two different triggers. One makes me pissed. One makes me isolated. It just depends on you communicating that to her and coming up with a plan. Hey, when I get this, can I say a word so that you know I have it? Because I'm not going to be able to communicate all this to you. Hey, what do I want you to do while I have it? Do anything except for try to touch me. Do anything except for leave because I need you here. Okay? You have to come up with those things with your wife. When you're in it, okay, there are a couple different things that you can do. So, number one, okay, and this is going to be, you need to take the things that are going to work for you. And if you don't know, because you don't have any freaking clue, test them, okay? You get a trigger, and you want nothing more than space, okay? You need to leave. You need to be alone. You need to breathe open air and just be out of the house, away from your family. Now is not a good time to be around other people, even if you love and care about them, especially if you love and care about them. You don't just jet out the door and hop in the car and hightail it out, okay? That's daddy left. Why does daddy leave like that? You need to somehow muster up the strength to say, hey, family, I've got to go for a walk. And this is something that you would have talked about with your wife previously. And so when she says, I need to go for a walk, she goes, oh, yes, kids, daddy needs to do his exercise, his walk. Or if you don't have kids, hey, baby, I got you. I get it. Okay, go ahead. I love you. Okay, I love you too. This is hard for me to say right now. I love you too. And then you go and you do your walk and you clear your head and you blow steam and you just come back and things have worked through your system as your thoughts have ran, your emotions have ran, your body has moved. If you haven't watched that video that I referenced earlier, then you're like, your body moves. What does that have to do with PTSD? Everything. You're not going to heal your PTSD without moving your body, in fact. So you're going to work, you're going to activate your nervous system simply by walking, okay? I remember my dad. My dad was an absolute piece of shit father, just basically nothing to offer in the end. And I remember one thing that my dad did for a little bit is he would go out for these walks and he'd say, I just got to go for a walk. My dad would go for a walk for an hour and a half. And so my dad also did the bail out of the driveway, screeching tires down the road, don't see him for a few days thing as well. We want to be those dads and those husbands that have structure, that say, hey, I'm going for a walk. Wink, wink. Okay, you're not going to the bar. You're not going down to the strip club. Of course not. You're not going down to the gambling machines or, to play video games and just completely, crash at a buddy's house. That's not what you're doing. You're going for a walk. You're doing something productive, but something that you need to do alone, okay? Then again, when you're in it, if you start to dissociate, okay, for those of you who kind of dissociate, you hunch over, and you just shut down. You just shut down. You're in another fucking place, brother. Well, one thing that happens is if you can communicate in the pre, okay, remember the before the trigger happens, if you can communicate to your wife, hey, this is one of the signs that I may be dissociating or shutting down. I'm not looking at you or making eye contact. I'm in a hunched over position where my chest is closed off and I'm breathing shallow. I'm not breathing, taking big breaths, okay, to calm down my nervous system. I'm like, are you even breathing, dude? Like, I'm getting Edward Vampire, like vibes from you. Like your chest isn't even rising. Get really quiet. Like that right there, your shoulders are rolled inward and forward. One thing that you can do is when she notices that, okay, and you can talk about it. Is it okay if she touches you to help you, put you in the correct position? Is it okay if she says, how would you like her to say, hey, I want you to get in a better position for me, okay? Right now you're in a closed off position. Can you roll your shoulders back for me? Awesome. Chest up. Just take a couple deep breaths with me. Look me in the eyes. Good. Okay? However it is going to be best for you and her that you communicate between each other. That needs to be heard, because doing that can literally help bring you back to reality. Okay. So that's in the during. So really those two things. You need to go for a walk. You need to get away. Do you need her by your side, but she'll watch for closing off and shutting down things? Does she need to just listen to you and you need to let her know that? And just listen to me, baby. It's going to be a rough ride. I'm going to do the best I can. And we're going to get through this, and this will help me get through this better. Now, the after, okay, because of all the work we've done in the pre and the during, the after should lead to less guilt and to not feeling great. Obviously, you had an attack. You're probably not going to feel great unless you handled it really well. And you'll definitely get to that point. But the first few times, it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be better than the previous times, but it's still going to be rough. But you're not going to feel as guilty and like you need to ask for as much forgiveness and that you wronged so many people, because you've set the stage for these things. Now your wife knows what you need because you've communicated it. And you also have tools, man. Go on the walk, communicate, set the stage, do all the things that you can before the attack happens. So when it's happening, before it happens, she knows what to expect and you know what to expect. You have, your safe word, if you want to call it. And then during, okay, then it's going to be easier because there's expectation and she understands what the fuck's going on. And then at the end, that's when you can come together and go, okay, we're going to talk about it. Okay, how did that go? And then she will know, yes, if you said something hurtful, if you got upset, of course you didn't mean those things. And you can reiterate, I did not mean those things. I feel like a piece of crap, but I'm working on it and this is helping, okay? So the after is going to be huge. That's where you come together, man. And you have to talk about what actually happened. If you don't have to do it right after. You just do it when you want. When is the best time for you guys? But you've got to kind of say like, hey, did that work? Did that work or did it not work? Let's try something else. Let's keep trying it. It worked. Okay, there has to be some sort of accountability there. And I know this is a lot, bro. I know that it's tough, but you're in the fucking depths of despair right now. So you will try anything because every single day it's a choice between either your family or death, your loved ones, or literally just the dark abyss. Okay. So I know that it may be a lot, but you're going to take this shit and you're going to run with it. Okay. So this is how we help the people around us stay sane and not become broken by us. Okay. And if they do become broken, we can help them. Okay. Just immediately flipping the script and doing this stuff is going to start pulling them towards healing versus continuing to break them and just isolate them and just make them feel like they're the ones with the problems and all of that stuff. And this monster inside of you, brother, it is completely tameable. At one point, I thought that I was a psychopath. I thought that I was a literal monster, and it didn't sit right with me. I thought, how do I go from like this caring person, like I want to do good in the world, I want nothing more than just to be with my family, to just this fucking monster? Then you just have to understand that it's the PTSD, it's the triggers, the trauma that is living inside you that is bubbled and brought up to the surface that makes you act that way, because you're not acting in the current modern situation that you're in. You're acting in a previous life, brother. By previous life, I just mean previous time period, something that has already happened in your life.